Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this is many a true nerd, and welcome to Civilization VII, and today I want to answer a very particular question. Because you see, thanks to the new city mechanics in this game, it's now possible to create urban districts with slightly ludicrous yields on them, and can't help but wonder, how far can you actually take that? What, in theory, is the highest yield it's mathematically possible to have on a single tile? And I've been putting a lot of thought into this, and I think I might finally have an actual definitive answer. But okay, before we begin, let's get everyone on the same page here, which is, number one, how do you create insane super yields on tiles? Like, say, that one right in the middle in front of you right there, with a combined yield of 121. And the answer is specialists. As the game goes on, you can stack specialists on the same tile to make it better and better and better. But what determines how much a specialist is contributing to a tile? Because logically, we'd need to maximize that. And the answer is pretty simple. It's adjacency, so if I was to put a stock exchange here, there would be no adjacency whatsoever. Move it to the coast, however, the adjacency goes up to +2. The higher the adjacency, the more the specialist gets to add on to the tile. Specifically, the amount is at 50%. You take the adjacency bonus of the tile, the specialist gets to take half of that, and add it on again. And I know what you're thinking, John, this sounds pretty simple. All you need to do is find a tile which is surrounded by things that provide adjacency. And there you go, perfect tile. And incidentally, that's precisely what that first tile I showed you already was. After all, this tile contains nothing but science buildings. Those want to be next to resources or wonders. Well, okay, we've got a resource here, and I built wonders all around it, hence why this tile is pretty good. But it's not as good as it can be, oh no, not even close. Because all of these are single adjacencies. So here we go, culture buildings want to be next to mountains, natural wonders, or wonders. However, many natural wonders are themselves mountains, so right here, I've got a city nestled up against Everest. And if I was to put a museum right next to it, then, as a result, I'm getting a not +1, but +2. Because the tiles in question are both mountains and natural wonders. They get to count twice. And there are many ways to trigger this effect. For example, there's another one right here. Machu Picchu is a wonder built on top of a mountain, so that triggers both mountain and wonder for another +2. So in theory, if you could surround a tile with double adjacencies, that would be even more ludicrous, and even then, we're only just getting started. But okay, let's just jump into the game proper, but yes, let's just say things are going to get a bit ludicrous. So, you probably won't be surprised to hear we're gonna be picking Confucius for this, given specialists are his entire thing. We're gonna be blending him with, yes, the mementos for bonus attribute points to culture and science, purely to give us a bit of a head start off the line, though we're not gonna be keeping these the entire game. Super easy to miss this, but yes, when you transition between ages, you can actually swap out your mementos, which we're gonna be doing a lot. And we're gonna be blending in with a server that probably feels a bit on the random side. We're going for Rome, but I promise, I've got a plan here, which I'll explain as we go, but okay, bare minimum, one very nice thing here is Rome just gets a free culture at the start of the game on all its settlements, which is very bloody useful, because there are a lot of wonders I need to lock down. I'm also going to set up this game in a slightly odd fashion, with quick speed, a tiny map, and low difficulty, because none of those affect the yields in any way. You can do what I'm about to do on any difficulty, it just increases the risk that, you know, a crucial wonder's going to get sniped out from under you. So I'm going to play with these settings, but everything you see will work on any settings whatsoever. So, welcome to our start, and know what you're thinking, John, you feeling okay? Because you were just saying adjacencies are crucial, and this start doesn't look very good. Like, there's barely anything here. No natural wonders, barely any resources, anything at all. And that's true, but don't worry. This start is the result of many, many hours of restarting the game until I got precisely the layout I needed. This is gonna work. So just move up to this lovely spot here, settle Rome, and away we go. Oh, and there she is. The tile of my dreams, right in front of me, this one right here. Once again, I appreciate, right now, it doesn't look like much. There's a reason for that, because, yes, basically, any natural adjacency in this game is not going to be good enough to generate the mathematically perfect mega tile. Oh no, I need to build out my own adjacencies with a very precise urban layout. A layout, in fact, is so intricate, I can't produce it with only one city. This is going to be the work of an entire game, but it's going to be worth it. Anyway, despite the lack of resources, this is not actually a bad start at all. We've got a whole bunch of forests here for some nice, easy early game production as soon as we're done with animal husbandry, and on top of that, we've got cotton nearby. +2 food, +2 production, one of the best early resources in the game. Oh yeah, that's what that bonus culture at the start of the game gets you. I've literally got the first pantheon, none of them have been taken yet, so, okay. With this many woods around, I'm going for God of the Forest. I love God of the Forest. I feel like that early game gold is just so helpful. Oh, better and better, we've stumbled across Mount Everest here as well, so, okay. Always nice to have a natural wonder nearby. Mount Everest also delightfully revealing every other nearby mountain, which on occasion does a sort of spy a bit, so, okay. We now know Himiko is way over there because she already owns that mountain. Oh, better and better. Nice big gold dump from the goody huts around here. Means with absolutely perfect timing, I could buy my first settler with my first produced one already almost ready to go. So, right, double expanding immediately. Let's go. Though speaking of expanding, right. I now need to lay out my cities incredibly bloody carefully. Because every city needs a bit of adjacency to this tile, but every city has also got to be careful that it doesn't block off the access of any other cities. So as a result, we shall have a city here to control these two tiles, a city up here to control these two, a city up here to control this tile right here, and naturally Rome has to control this tile that leads into our mega tile. But I think we'll get this city settled up here first, because yeah, this looks like the most promising source of early game science. So Patavium goes down, and then just round the corner, we get town number 2, Pompeii. Oh, and here we go. We knew about Himiko up here, though we've not formally met her yet. Neighbour number 2, and actually the last neighbour that's going to be on this continent, because on a tiny map there's only 3 people in the starting land. Right, Moria. Oh, she's a little bit closer than I'd like, actually. Oh, we're not going to be friends. Pompeii is way too close to her. Okay, given we're probably heading to war at some point, yeah, let's get down Gate of All Nations, because that's an amazing spot for a wonder right here. That's going to generate, yeah, +3 adjacency here, and here as well. That will significantly help our science going forwards. Also, I'm going to regret this, but I'm not missing the opportunity to grab some free land, so, right, just mosey over here, and... okay, me and Moria are now officially bordering each other, and I've definitely stolen land she probably considers hers.
No man is foolish enough to desire war over peace. For in peace, sons bury fathers. But in war, fathers bury sons.
And there we go. My first wonder goes down, though this isn't actually a wonder. I need to create the ultimate tile. This is just, you know, a bit of a security policy, though. Speaking of which... I need to be a bit careful not to go too bananas on wonders in the early eras, because there are certain wonders I absolutely have to have, meaning need to make sure there's, like, space for them left in the modern era. So, okay, pick your wonders very carefully, John. And also be very careful where you're expanding, because, okay, what I've just done is I've just ruined this already, because I took this tile, meaning Rome expanded into this tile, which it can't do, because this tile needs to belong to this city that doesn't exist down here, so... okay, basically, yes, this is the level of precision I need to be operating under. Hang on, let's just roll back the clock a bit. Okay, same again, but this time I didn't expand in this direction, and ruin literally everything immediately, so, okay, to make sure that doesn't happen in future, Pompeii. You need these 2 tiles here, so if I just expand here then here, you'll lock those down. Oh, and speaking of which, right, here comes that war with Moria I was expecting. Just said yes, my slinger and my legatus over to Pompeii, they can hold that no trouble. Jess, as I was saying before I ruined everything, wonders. I need to be careful not to build too many of them. The Hanging Gardens, for example, would be really bloody nice to have. But arguably, it's not essential. Petra is also completely unnecessary. But bloody hell, there's actually a bit of desert round here. That could be worth a lot of production to me. Oh, go on, I can never resist Petra. Though, John, before you build that, how about you get down, the 5 Science Library you just spent a lot of time getting set up correctly? Because right now you're behind in science, and that is not acceptable, because there are certain things deep in the science tree I need to have. And okay, it's now time for Operation Very Carefully Set Up the Borders. So, Pompey over here. You, my friend, need to take, yes, this tile right in the corner. It's not a great tile, but you now own these 2 tiles here, and they can never be taken away from you. Now, just to give a Pompey a garden to make sure it grows nice and fast, because right now it's a little bit on the slow side in terms of growth. So, right, in 4 turns, you're growing, and actually, you know what? I just replaced the tiles, that's fine. You, sir, need to take this tile right here, because when you take that, you'll expand down in this direction. And once this city's down, straight over the water, claim these 2 tiles. Okay, step 1, done. That is arguably the most difficult, intricate part of this entire operation, making sure the borders are correct.
Sedentary life is civilization's goal. It marks the end of its life and heralds its corruption.
Okay, got Petra down in Rome, and nice to have, if only because, yeah, that means production, and production is king. I mean, just look at that. At this point, I could build basically anything in just 1 or 2 turns. And thanks to these new desert tiles over here, that's just going to get faster and faster. But yes, what I need to be gunning towards is Pyramid of the Sun. Alright, that adds culture to quarters in this settlement. So if I build it, then ultimately, that's going to provide a tiny but still present bonus to my mega tile. So that is absolutely essential. We cannot miss that one. Oh, and hang on. I'm pretty sure I hear the warning horn. Here comes Moria. So, right. She's finally ready to attack us. But thanks to the Gate of All Nations, we've immediately got an advantage in this war. And honestly, 2 archers should be just fine to protect Pompeii. Oh, and bloody finally, we got city number 4 down. Naturally, just start expanding over the water. Oh, but here's the mistake she's made. Invading. Very, very bloody difficult in antiquity. So we can just pick apart your troops on the water. No trouble. Oh, and here we go. I think this is it. So you expand here. These 2 tiles belong to you. These 2 tiles belong to you. This to you. Rome, of course, is going to expand and take this and then that. And as a result, the layout is complete. Okay, a few turns later, Moria's making no progress, so I'm kind of hoping she'll just give up and give me a free city for Metropole at some point too. But yeah, more importantly, let's talk about wonders. I managed to build Hanging Gardens in Patavium, because yeah, Hanging Gardens doesn't actually do anything to help out my mega tile. The reason I wanted it is the expansionist attribute points. Because I'm going to be needing a lot of attributes over the course of this game. Because yes, if we just go down to the bottom of the culture tree, bonus culture from specialists down over here. The science tree has the same thing for science. And expansionist way down bottom has an increase in specialist limit in every city. So yeah, that one is a flipping essential. So yeah, earning enough attribute points to get down to the bottom of 3 distinct trees, that's going to be something we need to keep an eye on. And as for Rome, we've just unlocked the Pyramid of the Sun. So that could go right here and further add to the adjacency of my nearby library. Lovely.
The warrior's blood flowed like water and gathered in pools.
Okay. Critical, absolute essential wonder, number 1, locked down. And this is what I was worried about, because this is one the AI loves just going straight to. So, the fact we got that, yeah, that's good to see. Which leads us straight into absolutely flipping critical wonder number 2. Anchor Wat. So, okay. Bonus to specialist limit in this settlement, yeah. That's arguably the single most important wonder in the game for this. And okay, while we're working on that, we can now actually start putting buildings, not into the megatile. In fact, weirdly enough, we're going to end the siege without anything in the megatile. But what we can do is start building the buildings that are gonna support it. Starting critically with the Basilica. Rome's gold building that can also gain bonus influence based on adjacency. And we're going to be building that right flipping here on the edge of the mega tile. And we're going to repeat that in literally every flipping city.
All beings who are plunged into the ocean of existence, may I draw them out by virtue of this good work.
And there we go. Critical wonder number 2. Just one more to go this age. And that is the Colosseum, providing happiness to every quarter. So again, just providing a tiny bit extra to my mega district when it goes down. It's only 2, but I promised you a mathematically perfect quarter, and I'm going to deliver on that.
While stands the Colosseum, Rome shall stand. When falls the Colosseum, Rome shall fall. And when Rome falls, with it shall fall the world.
Okay, we got it. I was a tiny bit concerned there. This was a gamble, because the Colosseum is obviously way earlier in the tech tree than the other 2 wonders. But generally, the AI just doesn't bother with it. So, okay, fortunately, that worked out. I've got every wonder I need from this era. Okay, so at this point we're now talking finishing touches. You may have noticed, yes, my beautiful line of basilicas is forming up nicely. Just need to get 1 more of them down. And I also need to get down 1 more town for a very important reason. I need to put down a city adjacent to the water, because doing that unlocks the Chola, and that's where we're going next. And with the timer at 94%, we could just slip in the last basilica, which I'm going to buy just for safety. So, yeah, this is the one that is going over the water to create 4 basilicas surrounding a completely bloody empty tile. Right, 99%, and I'm about to finish a future tech, so right, that will definitely end the era next turn. And there we go. Age of Antiquity comes to an end. Oh, sorry, got 1 more wonder down here as well, up in Batavium. So, okay, that was also an additional, culture point right there. So, culture, we've actually done very well in. We've actually got straight up to +1 culture, or 2 with 3 or fewer cities immediately. And the wildcard point I'm putting into Expansionist because, yeah, that's the one we've got to make the most progress through. So the end result being, Wonders of the Ancient World is complete, Science track is complete as well, Military didn't even get up to tier 1. That's actually a shame. I could have done with, yeah, the additional flipping Expansionist point. That's unfortunate. Economic... Okay, I'm not sure why my economic was so terrible. Probably because I just didn't bother trading with anybody. Mainly because they all hate me and were attacking me and whatnot. But, okay, don't even worry about that. That's fine. They didn't really, cause too much trouble for me at all. Again, now my stitches are set up. We are well ahead of everyone else, which is good. That's going to mean, yeah, there's less stress to rush everything in the next era. So, step 1, let's remember to change our mementos. Seriously, it's so easy to overlook this button, but you can change mementos between ages. So, okay. I think what we want to do is, yeah, get an expansionist point coming in. That would be good, actually, yes. And now I'm trying to remember, if you keep the attribute you already had, does that mean you get a second scientific attribute point at the start of the next era? I don't know, you know. Let's find out. Anyway, let's get back to the important business here. This is arguably the biggest moment of this whole thing. Why are we picking Chola? Well, remember back at the beginning when I was talking about single adjacencies, double adjacencies. In this game, there are also triple adjacencies. And here we go. The Manigramam. +4 happiness as a base, but also +1 gold adjacency for quarters and wonders, and +1 happiness for gold buildings and wonders. And if you think about it, in theory, you could put this next to a quarter that's got 2 gold buildings in it. So it would gain +1 from gold building 1, +1 from gold building 2, and +1 for the fact that those gold buildings are making a quarter. Plus 3 adjacency from a single direction. And then all you do is surround it on every side with identical quarters, and bloody hell, things could get a bit silly. And highly conveniently, the other unique Chola building is itself a gold building. This, by the way, is why I played as Rome, because they get a gold building as well. There simply aren't enough gold buildings in the game to surround a quarter with gold buildings. But if at every step of the game you pick a civ that's got its own unique ageless gold building, then it's possible. This, by the way, is why I need to spend so much time re-rolling to get this precise flipping start. Because the Chola's unique gold building, unfortunately, can only be placed adjacent to coasts. Meaning I needed a spot where, yes, 2 of the surrounding tiles were coast adjacent. And during this era, there is nothing I need in the science tree in terms of wonders. So, okay, given it's all about culture, I will take Wonders of the Ancient World, and also Inward Perfection, which could be rather useful. Beyond that, honestly, spam attribute points. I need them more than I need flipping anything else. So okay, Economic gets one, Expansionist from my Memento, we just keep going too, beautiful. And Scientific, yeah, we actually need the most here, because Scientific can get me +1 science on each quarter. We're gonna be needing that ultimately as well. Thankfully, there's no equivalent in the culture tree, so that we don't need to worry about. But for the time being, yeah, let's get straight down to these lovely options down here, and there we go. Science on Specialist. Good, 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 good. Still, step 1 today, while we're just, getting up the basics, is explore. Like, really, really bloody quickly. Because there's a very particular civ I need to be hitting in Era 3. Okay, I found one of what I'm looking for right opposite my borders. I'm talking, of course, about tea. And the associated civ, Meiji Japan, because bloody hell it can be a nightmare to lock down 3T. I may need to go to war just to get this tea. Still, it's a finally flipping time. The mega tile is no longer just going to be an unremarkable farm. It's time to start building it. And right now, it's only worth 8 happiness. 4 base, 4 happiness from the various basilica. Honestly, at this exact moment in time, this doesn't even look like the best place in this city to put this district, but oh, just you flipping wait. Okay, meanwhile out at sea, we figured out who the 4th and final person out there is. Currently alone on the distant lands continent, it's the Shawnee. And I've also found another tea. This one, however, is going to be a lot more bloody difficult to keep hold of, because, okay, everyone else still hates me, and this is a lot closer to them than me. Okay, I'm going to try and stabilize my relationships with everybody else using an incredibly powerful tool. Trade. Basically, if you trade with people constantly, they just end up cocking and loving you. It's the best way you can maintain good relationships with everybody in Civ 7. Okay, step 1, I've locked down 2 T's. 1 to the east, 1 to the west. The problem is, 1, not 100% sure I'm going to be able to hold this T. 2, I can't fight anymore because seriously, tea always feels like the most ridiculously elusive resource. Bare minimum, expanding into distant lands does mean, yeah, we're finally getting close to this nonsense. And just for fun, we could start immediately bulking up our lovely mega district, which I'll admit does not look that mega right now, but do bear in mind, what it wants is gold buildings and completed quarters. So, if we just slap down a couple of gold buildings, well, the short version is, we gain 2 yield here, because there's an additional gold building, and also this is now officially a quarter, so, okay. This is the start of something great. Still, first wonder of this era comes into play. On this occasion, it's the Forbidden City, which, yes, adds culture and gold to fortification buildings, which includes any quarter that's got walls around it, so, yes, we're gonna be needing that.
The past is the treasure. Time is its hiding place.
Okay, Forbidden City, check. Oh, and would you look at that. I've been aggressively trading with everybody, and I've managed to stabilise my relationship with them, so, okay. Hopefully, we can, just make this continent chill out a bit. And perfect timing, say hello to our next wonder, Borobudur. So, okay. Bonus food and happiness on, once again, quarters. So, once my mega tiles are quarter, a lot of stuff is going to kick in. And with that almost done, yeah, I feel like we've got a moment here to get down our next ageless gold building, which naturally squeezes in right here on the 2 tile coasts adjacent to the mega tile.
The true nature of emptiness is the nature of no birth and no death. No being, no non-being.
And speak of the devil, there we flipping go. So, okay, that's already most of what we need out of this era. There's only one more remaining wonder. hilarious update, by the way, which is, I've scoured the entire map, and I can't find any more tea. Possibly, yes, the tea is now being squatted on. So, as a result, yeah, there's a small settlement here, right on the coast, basically defenseless, that's got tea in it. I think we may need to go and help ourselves to somebody else's tea. Which is a shame, because me and the Shawnee were getting on just fine, and we were friends, damn it! Still, let's check in with the mega tile, because at this point it is now completely surrounded, though in some cases by single buildings, not by quarters. So it's still nowhere near as good as it ultimately will be. Do bear in mind though, that the base shield of this thing is a 4 happiness, and it's already at 5 gold, 2 culture, and 13 happiness. The gold coming, yes, 2 from a Forbidden City, 3 from surrounding quarters, and the rest of the happiness all coming from gold buildings, which you know is 9, because if I put a specialist here, it gains a 4.5, half of the 9. And on top of that, yeah, half of the 3, a 1.5. And 3 culture, that's the base, then 3 science, plus the 2 Confucius gives us. That's a pretty bloody good specialist. And I want to also be very clear, there's only 1 building in there right now. That's outperforming other tiles that have got 2 buildings on them. So I'm gonna say, how about we start loading this thing up? Because it could have 3 specialists. Sorry, did I just say 3? Because I meant 4. Sorry, never mind, 5 specialists. And with the bank unlocked, we could just start tossing those in as well, because honestly, why not? Oh, and while we just gather our troops for a completely unjustifiable war in order to obtain more tea, here we go. The last one do we need, Notre Dame.
The echoes of our glory and our losses, of our victories and our disasters, have always resounded under those vaults.
And there we go. Perfect timing and Notre Dame, though right now it's not doing anything, because this thing only works during a celebration. So it sure is lucky a celebration starting today, isn't it? Because there we go, we're up to 14 culture now, and once again, I should stress, this is a single building tile. This is only half full. We're barely getting started here. And then, tragically, we get to, yes, this sad business. I am so sorry about this, by the way. I appreciate me and you have basically got no problems with each other whatsoever. We could have been friends. Okay, we literally just walked in the next turn. And there we go. Meiji Japan. I am really sorry. If you would like, you know, to have a settlement back, I will give you this one. I don't even really want to. I was just using it as a launching off point for attacking this one. Okay, honestly, we're pretty much done with this age now, so... okay, we're only at 84%, but I've already hit the future tax, because I am miles ahead of everyone else at this point, so that's fine. That's just a free wildcard attribute points, which is very useful because, okay, culture, check. Expansionist, check. Scientific, we still need 2 more, so, oh, this is going to work out perfectly. And perfect timing on the very last turn of the age, we get +1 science on each quarter. And there we go. Era 2 comes to an end. It's time to wrap this up. And absolutely critically, do not forget to change mementos because it's time to move over to the final set. +1 culture from every specialist. Blended, of course, with +1 science too. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. And with that, we go over to Meiji Japan. The reason being, okay, right now what we've got inside our mega quarter is a building that gains adjacency from gold buildings. But we need to find it a partner. Now sadly, Japan can't give us another triple adjacency. What it can give us is a double adjacency. Gold from every gold building. And there's going to be 12 gold buildings around it, so put this and the Chola buildings together, and oh, life is about to get sexy. And things are going to go bananas quickly here because, yeah, you can get the unique building you need immediately, together with another reason to go for Japan. A tradition that gives production and science to every specialist. So naturally, that's being plugged in immediately because yes, every single sim we've played as is providing something to the mega tile. So you know what, I'm not waiting for this to build, alright, I'm impatient. I'm just going to slap that down right now. And that jumps up to 2 food, 5 production, 23 gold, 30 science, 21 culture, 26 happiness. Do bear in mind, a lot of the buildings around here have now fallen behind. They're no longer active, so they're no longer contributing their adjacency. So as a result, if we just start tossing down more of these guys adjacent to the existing one, they're going to start providing adjacency to each other. The exception, however, is going to be Patavium, which is going to be doing its own thing for a very specific reason. Here we go, the stock exchange, because this is not just a modern gold building. This has got something interesting going on. Stock exchanges provide gold to adjacent quarters. So, right now, the mega tile is generating 23 golds. But if we just slap you down right here, good sir, that just jumped to 29. I'm gonna be honest, that's more than I thought it was going to be. Okay, we've reached a stage where I don't understand why the numbers are what they are anymore. Screw it, let's just keep going, it's fine. Oh, hang on. Was the 6? Yes. 4 from the Japanese building, because that gains +1 gold per specialist for an adjacent gold building. Then another gold from the Chola building, because that became a quarter, plus the final gold because the building was a stock exchange. That might be it, I think that's it. And we have got plenty more to add in yet. So, okay, social sciences and humanism for +2/+2, beautiful. But all of that pales into insignificance next to political theory and ideology. Because with communism, we could get science +3 from specialists and food up as well. And back in Rome, we can now build the last wonder we need. The Eiffel Tower, culture and happiness on quarters, which my mega tile now is. Oh, perfect timing. I think we are now done. Ageless or current age gold buildings on every side. So okay, that's our starting point here. A yield of, I don't know, 200 or something thereabouts. And now we plug in communism. Someone feel free to do the maths here. The point is, big number. And we're not done yet because, okay, there's a couple of things we need to do here. And not just finishing touches either. There's one very big thing we need to take care of. This one is rather weird, by the way. You may have noticed, long ago, that the leader attributes give you bonus culture from specialists. But more if you've got 3 or fewer cities. The problem being, I needed 4 cities to set this up. So I've got to turn one of these cities into a town. Now, you can't actually do that, aside from one very bloody weird way, which is going to make, yes, Nepal's hatred for me rather useful. I need to deliberately lose one of these cities, so when it gets taken over, it becomes a town. Then, I could go and militarily take it back, and it will still be a town, but it will still have the buildings I built in it, because these are ageless or current age. They can't be demolished or replaced, so yeah, I need to engineer a war, which I need to then lose in order to win another one 10 turns later. As I say, creating a mathematically perfect tile is a bit of an odd thing. And while we're setting that up, this is what an individual specialist is now giving me on the mega tile. So, okay, now we're flipping getting somewhere, yes. Though, there's more we can do yet. Don't you worry, there's more ways to get specialists. Oh, and the Eiffel Tower's done too, so we can just toss on a bit of extra culture and happiness, because why not? It is kind of hilarious that we're going to end this by handing over the city that this civilization has been trying to conquer since antiquity. But, okay, here we go. Nice a formal war, lovely. And now we just leave Pompeii nice and unguarded, okay? A very nice tempting target. Oh, just to confirm, I'm now at war with literally everybody. Honestly, that's not really that much of a problem. If you guys want the islands and whatnot, you can have them. I don't really need them anymore. Especially because here comes capitalism with the final specialist in the game. Oh, perfect timing. Here we go. Another specialist to drop into the mega Thailand. Okay, I think that's every specialist we could put in. Meaning all I need to do now is drop to, yes, 3 cities in order to further boost the yields. Right, we've lost Pompeii, what a terrible tragedy. Now we just need to, wait 9 turns till we can get it back. Oh, fun fact by the way, while I was waiting for those 9 turns to elapse, may have been, building up a small air force and whatnot. I'd just like to apologise to the people of Pompeii, who are probably really confused about what's been going on recently. But I promise guys, we'll be back to normal momentarily. Right, modern artillery makes a short work of the walls. Beautiful. And there we go, Pompeii is mine again, though, crucially, it's now a town. Okay, so with Pompeii now a town, science has risen to 93. But don't forget, Notre Dame doesn't work unless we're in a celebration. And there we go, a few turns later, our final celebration. And as a result, I think this is it. As good as it gets. So, okay. 44 food, 8 production, 89 gold, 93 science, 77 culture, and 65 happiness. Giving us a combined yield of 376. Meaning as a result, that one tile is contributing more to my empire than, yes, a town that should be a city and has spent a lot of time as a city, with a population of flipping 22. One tile. And so, in conclusion, is this the greatest tile that can exist in Civilization VII? And the answer is, I don't know. I think so, because I simply can't find a way of coming up with a better combination of adjacencies. And yes, I have considered the madrasa, which could do the same triple adjacency, with 2 science buildings and a quarter, and could also be blended with Charlemagne to give an additional happiness adjacency to the madrasa, meaning, as a result, that would be a quadruple adjacency, which would be better. The problem is there's no building to pair it with, because there's literally no other building in the game that gains adjacency from science buildings, so overall the result would still be worse than what I did with Confucius. But on the other hand, Civ 7 is a strange and mysterious beast, and sometimes it calculates numbers in a way that I can't quite understand, so who flipping knows, basically. This may or may not be a mathematically perfect tile, but even if it's not, I still think, nearly 400 yields on a single tile. That's pretty bloody good. Still, if you know a way to make a better tile, please do let me know in the comments below. I would be delighted to learn even more secrets about how to put together utterly ludicrous flipping yields. And as for Civ 7 in general, okay, do not be surprised if it shows up again in the future, as it gains more and more updates. I think there's a big update coming just next week, in fact, so who knows? Maybe we'll even do a Civilization 7 livestream next week to check all the new stuff out. So hopefully you join me for that. But in the meantime, I've been John, this has been Many a True Nerd, and this has been the delightful Civilization 7. Thank you very much, and goodbye.
I really hope we've agreed open borders with Japan, by the way, otherwise they have basically just invaded. I may have picked the wrong fight over... Yep. And my cities, of course, have got even more flipping high-tech, though mysteriously still completely dependent on, an aqueduct. Now, I'm not saying your entire army is mostly already dead, but it kind of actually is.